Happy New Year, everybody! Today, I'm going to be looking at something which may be larger than life, or maybe smaller. Okay, it's Morphies Law. Now, this is a multiplayer game that was released on the Nintendo Switch quite a little while ago. But before I start this review, I'm just going to say off the bat, this is no Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey. It's just some multiplayer game and you get to shoot things because we don't have enough of those in the world, do we? But the main gimmick of this game is when you shoot your opponents, then some parts of the body become bigger than the others and you get some quite hilarious results, we shall say. So, without further ado, on with the review.
Here is what the game looks like. As you can see, it looks Mexican, and that's because the designers gave the game that look. It's an interesting artistic choice, but honestly, it works quite well. The use of skeletons as a homage to the Day of the Dead festivals that are held there, and the music is quite catchy. So yeah, interesting choice, but I'll go with it. However, myself and a few other people have had a few issues with the game. First off, when you have a multiplayer shooter, there is generally quite a lot of maps that you can go on. A good example of this would be the multiplayer from Call of Duty Black Ops. In that game, there's quite a variety to choose from, with Nuketown being the best of the bunch, because, you know, it's Nuketown. Do I really need to explain myself? In Morphies Law, there's a grand total of 4. Yes, you heard that right. 4 maps. So what, the designers just couldn't be arsed making any more levels? There's no single player campaign in this game, so it relies heavily on multiplayer modes. So you would expect at least some more effort than what has been delivered to us. If they gave us 14 different maps, then at least then I would find it more acceptable. Given that you have to pay £15 in the UK, this doesn't really justify the piss poor amount of variety of stages that you can choose. I feel somewhat cheated here. Another complaint that I have is that I've always had these weird sound issues that have occurred mostly after I've got myself killed. Playing with this in headphones on handheld mode gives me a fright sometimes. It's really annoying and puts me off from playing the game. That's probably why I always have a hard time going back to play it as well. This begs the question, do I think that this game is a stinking pile of shit? Well, if it can get past the lack of quantity in the stages and the odd sound hiccups here and there, this game actually can be quite fun for the casual gamer. It reaches nowhere near the standard of Nintendo's AAA shooters like Splatoon 2, but the idea of shooting different body parts of your opponents is quite a fun idea. When you're running around with huge legs and a small torso, it does make me laugh, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. There are multiple multiplayer options to choose from. That was a mouthful, but moving on. And with these, you have online, offline, you can play with a friend locally, the usual shit you can find in these types of games. I always find it much more enjoyable playing these sorts of games with friends. It's just a pity that I suck so much at them. Yes, even Nuketown in Black Ops. Now, there are different types of matches that you can have. You have the standard matches, with red teams versus blue teams. You capture a giant head, and yes, that does look weird, but basically that's like the capture the flag mode of this game. And there's this other mode which, to be honest, I've not played much, but going by other reviews, not many others have played that much either, because I don't think many people seem to grasp this one. Upon completing matches, you do level up and there is unlockable content, so at least the game designers did try in that respect. It's just too bad that they weren't firing on all cylinders though. With a little more time spent in the development cycle, this could have been one of the best multiplayer games to ever grace Nintendo Switch, alongside the likes of Payday 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Instead though, we get this end product which I say is passable as a decent game just to pass some spare time for a few minutes. Perhaps we may get some additional content added to the game at some point down the line, because if so, I will be more forgiving of the lack of levels for what is essentially a party game.
So that is Morphies Law. It could have been something much better than what it turned out to be, but sometimes you win them and you lose them. But I don't want to discourage all of my viewers from buying this game because, as I've stressed earlier, this is far from being a terrible game. There are some really good aspects of it. I think that the gameplay is good. I mean, it's not spectacular by any means, but it's not bad either. If you're still one of those viewers beforehand who wanted to buy this game and you come across this video and you've been somewhat discouraged by it, then please don't be discouraged by it. If you really do want to buy this game, then the best suggestion that I would have for you would be to maybe wait for a sale on the eShop, and that way you can get this game at a reduced price, because in my honest opinion, at the current price tag that it's in, given its current state, it doesn't really justify it for me. But apart from that, if you bought it and it was much cheaper and you got it for, say, £5 instead of the price that it is right now, then I would say that you're in for a bargain. And that is all I've got to say for Morphies Law. So, my name is James. I play the games. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.